Oh, I've never heard that little guy before. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna
Oh,
make.
I have to consent. They're asking my consent to record.
Oh, really? Oh, it
Yeah.
got so fancy.
I know. Yeah, I see the recording button.
Okay.
Yeah, I was taking notes. So, but you know, with the different scale, when you've talked about having flowers at different scale, you know, I think one thing that is kind of holding me back some, and you know, I love it when you print for me, but it's like I could be doing Xerox flowers to, you know, I could change the scale there, but it isn't like I can say, oh, I need 3 different size flowers. I'm going to go and do that right now. You know, it's like.
Where are you sourcing your flowers?
Those were some orchids I took pictures of.
Okay, but you can use anything to source flowers.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Go back and get other, but I still have to have
magazines.
But I still have to have the print to put on it or the Xerox.
Magazines, use magazines or stencils.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the stencils. You mean
so
actually?
A lot of times, yeah, I combine. So I might use flowers. I might use photographic flowers. And then for that image that you liked of mine, the tulips, I actually used source imagery off the internet.
But did you print that? Did you print those up after you brought them in?
I put them on the computer and I printed them on my home, like my office printer.
Oh, not on photo paper.
No.
Okay.
No, I just printed them. Yeah, and like if you look at, I'm gonna just show you something really quick. And I think we've talked about her before, but I'm just gonna show you another artist that you might be interested in. Her name is, I think we've talked about Lorraine Glesner, but I'm teaching with her this summer, and she's good. She's a really good encaustic teacher. I mean, she teaches everywhere. Like her life is devoted to teaching and workshops. I mean, that's just
okay.
So
artist educator. Okay.
Yeah, and she has like a great okay, so this is a perfect example. So do you see this image? So her imagery.
You did show me her. Yeah, I have seen these.
So do you see how she's used like the scale? Like she's used this big photo that she doesn't take these photos for that, as far as I know. If she does, she's printing them out on a home printer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So she's also combining like drawing, collage, and wax. So and it is like an orchestra. It's like how do you have to control all these parts. So I
show me I have.
So she makes these minis. Let me see if I can find them. Let me see if I can find the minis. So she had, here's her minis. So they're cute. Like, so do you see, like this one reminds me of yours. So do you see how she used this found pink flower? Yeah. So if you're working with like pink flowers and you want a couple somewhere else, you know, you can either make them with a stencil if you've already started working with the wax, or you can add them somewhere else in the collage. And you can find them in a magazine. You could draw them, you could trace them, you could Xerox copy them. You don't have to be hung up that they're yours or that they're on photo paper. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have started doing more of the collaging type, or even the tissue paper, like cutting out flowers on a napkin. You had suggested that. So
yeah.
That's helpful.
So, and again,
all right. So yeah, just get another flower in there. Yeah. Okay. Well, the other thing is I've been converting everything to black and white. So I'm adding the color and I just said, oh, no.
Oh, I think you painted these flowers beautifully. I do. I think when you even held up the piece, like I think in real life, the piece has a lot more beauty and atmosphere than the photo of it, because when we're just staring at the photo, we're also not seeing the texture and the luminosity as much with the wax, whereas when you held it up in person. So one other question I have for you, why did you not give her a body here? Like, is she?
Her body is there.
So what about making this area like a little bit lighter?
Yeah. Okay. So scrape back on
No,
her.
I would just put white right on top of what you have.
Okay.
Okay. So again, when you see like, that you want to go like you have you have like a fork in the road, and you could, yes, you could either heat it up with a heat gun, scrape back, or if you're already at this point, you could go, oh, I'm just going to add some white
Okay.
pigment stick or pan pastel.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just, and then you can add the white pan pastel and build it up, and then look at it and then see if you like it. And then if you like it, then you can add some more. Remember, you don't have to go too quickly or make too sudden a turn or a change. Just think about like, oh yeah, maybe I want to see her dress a little bit more. And then that might suggest that there's water. Maybe this is maybe the dark blue is deep water, and then the light blue is more shallow water. So
I'm not really sure. Now that you've shown me the two triangles, I'm not sure why I had that darker blue. In the original, it's less blue. It's like a,
yeah. I think it's not. Yeah, I think it's not even the color. I think it's just, for me, it's just this. You have a way of making very sharp lines. So you're making a very sharp line here, whatever color texture it is, right? So for me, I would like to see that sort of those soften. So one of the things you could do to soften it would be to add a little bit of just clear wax over it. Okay. And also, like, you really segregated your colors. You're like, this color is going to be here, these flowers are going to be this color, and this one's going to be that color, right? Yeah,
just soften all. Okay.
So what happens if they're like a little bit more blendy and a little bit more like there's a little bit of pink, you know? I love how you added this little bit of pink here, but what if there's a little bit more pink over here, as if one of the flowers was under the water? Okay. Like it wasn't really there, but it might kind of be there. And then what if there's a little bit of this color, you know, in over these flowers, so that it kind of.
Yeah, because I remember you told me to start reflecting. So I brought in the pink and the yellow, because I was going to put pan pastel for the stamens, and I just stopped. But so I brought the yellow into her torso also. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so bring more.
I'm going to take this image into Photoshop because I think that's helpful for you.
Right. Also, I'm going to go back and look at the original.
I think I really like this piece though. I like these colors. It's very underwater. It reminds me of a lot of a work like that my friend Julia does in her pool. Wait, hold on.
Oh, here. I've got some of the process pictures. Let's see.
All right, so I'm in Photoshop right now. Mm-hmm. So one of the things too, like I can take my dodge tool, right? And like, if this is be like, right? So I'm like lightning.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just lightning. Like, look how, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And you did that with those endless flowers, and it helped me a lot, even though I didn't get what I wanted, but it helped me.
Look how much more flowy it is. Okay, and then look, and then I can paint. So this is my paint tool, and I can go like into like a blue. I can go into like a greeny blue, and I can.
Wait, where are you? Oh, you're.
Oh, where am I? Oh, wait, here it is. So here's my paint tool, and then I can change. So opacity, right here's that. So look, if I add like a little green.
Okay.
Right, I'm adding a little bit green here. I'm just taking away, right? So I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of nice. And then look, I can take a little bit of this pink. You know, what if there's like a suggestion of a flower over here? See how I just added this pink in the shape of the flower? Like, so it's not actually there, but it just kind of suggests that it's there. So there's flowers over and under, right? Right, do you see how that is? Do you like that?
I do. I'm going to take a screen. Wait,
I can send this to you.
Okay, I was going to try to take a screenshot, but
well, yeah, you're going to have the recording too. I'm going to.
Okay, so and I can do those, the dodging and the painting.
You can do all of these things with wax, like everything I just showed you.
I can do it with a pigment stick lightly or pan pastel just to.
You just add white, add a lighter color, right? So again, yeah. So
much better. Oh, I like it so much better.
Wait, here I see how I took the blue and I put the blue over the pink.
Yeah, so it's
it looks like it's kind of sliding into the water. And now, so now you're looking at her face.
Yeah.
And this flower up here, right? And then let's add a little bit of color to like over her hand, just so her hand is not
right
as.
Oh yeah, I see. Because it makes the eye go to her face, I think.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just trying to lighten it now a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. That looks better.
It has more of the motion, feeling of water motion.
Look, and and then I can add a little bit of, I can really lighten this up, and it looks like her dress, like her body's here.
Her body came back. Yeah, I was just looking at the progress picture, and yeah, all that. Her body is there. I'm not quite sure I covered it, but yeah, okay.
Now it looks like her body is here.
You brought it back. Yeah, cool.
I like it.
I do too.
See how this flower down here got darker, and then this one kind of went like middle, and then this one can be saturated because that kind of makes sense, right? Yeah. And then so all three flowers are there, but they don't have the same exact color palette because flowers that are closer to you are going to be more vivid, and also light is going to change the intensity of light on things.
So I have another question. Yeah, that's so much better. I'd forgotten you were doing that quite a bit with those other flower images, showing me the light and dodging. But now,
I'm just gonna call this I'll send this to you.
Oh, I've got it. I did a screen capture. I got it.
Okay.
It bothers the original. The bottom isn't as blue. It has more turquoise in it. It's more like the top is just a darker.
Okay, yeah.
But like this, the way it is now, that bothers me. Okay, so that's going to help me a lot going forward. All right.
Yeah, that's a good technique for us. Okay, wait. So let's go.
This one I don't like. I didn't get what we were trying to do. I have another one. I just want to show you the first one that I did. Just
I like this. I think this one.
No, I want to show you the one that I did that was a mess, but just to show you. Hold on. It's just for fun. Hold on.
Oh, I like this one. I really like that I really like the tree one.
Oh, I love that. And remember you told me
about this one.
Kiefer? I do too. I feel like I just a little bit, and I just feel like, this is one of the ones I have 2 more of these, and I want to keep working it.
I love this one.
I do too. I really love it.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I have so many things. I love it. It's like 2 worlds. Okay, my only complaint though.
Okay, yeah.
Is that I feel like the bottom should be brown. Explain to me why you wanted the brown to go up the sides.
Oh, interesting. Part of it, you know what? Part of it is, I have the photograph on the board, and I didn't want to show the edge, and I could have kept it black and white monotone. But now as you're asking that question, I say, oh yeah, that really doesn't look right.
Well, okay, so the way I read, again, like, everybody's different a little bit, but like I look at a lot of art all the time. The way I read this photo is that it's like 2 worlds, and it's sort of like this crossing over. you know, and sort of like very feminine, maybe like birthing of this person into this other world. And I think some of the things that you did really well that you sometimes, you know, like in the other piece we're having is that you really got that foreground, background, and depth. Mm-hmm. Like this wax is definitely in front of me, closest to me, and that she is back. And also, but then this is deceptive because I'm like, is this a frame? Like, I don't know how to read this. So in my mind, this should be black. Like this should be black, not brown.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I totally get it.
Okay. And so that there's actually separation here. I'm trying to get, wait, hang on, I'm going to do it again. So that there's actually separate, do you see?
Yeah.
I'm making, so there's actually like a line here so that this whole area comes forward.
Yeah.
And this is just a learning process, Pam, just learning the techniques to make things look the way you want them to.
You know, now that you pointed, I see it, but I have a feeling it's like I didn't even see it. When I put the brown on and it didn't bother me, I wasn't seeing it. But when you show it, I said, oh yeah, I get it.
Well, right, but that's exactly how, remember early in our conversation tonight when I said that there's a part of every artist that just wants to do whatever feels good and is fun. And then you have to process the work and figure out how your actions are translating at the narrative, right? Because each piece sort of, now look at that. I mean, maybe that's too much.
No. It really,
and it doesn't have to be black. It doesn't have to be black all the way up to the top, because I kind of like the brown up here because it suggests like earthiness and trees, but I need you to use a little bit of separation here to get this whole like garden environment to come forward off the background.
Yeah,
so I get to me is like perfect. And you could just along this line right here, if you're just adding a little bit of black to make that go back.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm going to save this for you too. But other than that, this one's like perfect. It's really beautiful.
I love it. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like honestly now you have a couple like finished, what do you call this one? What do you call it?
I call it birthing Azami. Azami is the young woman, and it's
definitely called birthing. It's fine. But I can't spell her name. But I think that this one is really like done. And I think that the first one that you showed me, you know, the Ophelia one, once you soften some of those flowers, like that's done.
That's what yeah.
I think you have some pieces that are really, I think that other blue, the one we just worked on, I think that's a really great one too. And you're gonna just add a little white and soften it a little bit, add a little blue. You don't even, if you feel nervous about adding, I think you get nervous. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I feel like you get nervous when it comes to adding another layer of wax.
It depends, you know, if I feel like, if I have a vision of it, of where I'm going, I'm fine. But if it's like, you know, I don't know what to do, so let me just throw something at it, then I get nervous. Like there's no plans to it, so.
Right, but you have to remember that like, if you're just putting a little bit of encaustic wax over it, like you shouldn't be changing it that much. Like you should just be sort of softening what you have.
Very subtle. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like putting like a little bit of a soft focus filter effect on the work. But it is nerve-wracking because you're putting something hot over. I mean, you're going to change it a little bit because you're going to, and if that makes you nervous, try
actually, no, I'm fine with it. If I feel there's a purpose, like if you make a suggestion, or you know, if it's like a real decision, because I know I could pull it back if I need to.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to talk about these two, or do you want to paint?
Well, let's finish the critique, because you're giving me a lot to work on.
Do you not want me to critique this one?
I do, but hold on. Can you want to see what this was?
Yeah, let me go. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Show me.
This was horrible.
Oh,
It was like I
yeah.
made a mistake. I did like instead of doing white, black, black, white, I did black, black, white, white, black. I did
Oh, and you tried to scrape it?
I came to try to pull it back. I don't like it. But anyway, I kind of saved it because even though it didn't work, I was getting more of this, the under texture.
I love that. I love that.
Do you?
I do. I love what the white coming out from the black. Yeah. I mean, if anything, I would take to where her figure is. I
Yeah.
would just cover her up completely.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That's what
and then just work. And then maybe if you end up getting like just her profile, I mean, when you start really scraping so hard, you run a risk of like kind of hurting the photo. You know what I mean?
Well, no, I just wanted to show it to you. Like this is a mess, but I keep it. This is my mess. Okay, so then I said, okay, I am going to do.
It's good to have. You have no idea how many messes I have in my studio. I mean, pieces that I work on and have worked on that I just am like, I can't. They're a mess. Yeah. But sometimes, like again, you need to be able to have that practice space.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
And they're not all going to turn out. You have to try.
Yeah.
A bunch, and it's like working out the kinks,
So I really wanted to get this technique of, bringing one, it could be dark light, like, not just black and white.
Yeah.
One thing, so then the other one that I did send you, I was more hesitant about, I didn't like the texture that was coming up.
Yeah.
Just covered it. Yeah. So this is one of those things. It's like, I know I could go forward, but I'm not quite sure how to go forward with it.
I still feel like you're like I'd love to be with you because I still feel like you're like at 3 speeds with the encaustic, and you're either like really making it too textured and then wanting to scrape it, which is very hard. I also find that that's, as I've gotten, it's hard on your hand. It's hard to grip the razor blade and scrape really well. So maybe there's a way to help you learn to wax that's easier for you to get the look that you want.
Yeah.
I think you're having.
I feel like I'm globbing the wax on. So one thing I've done, I for a while, that was one reason when we stopped, it was really good because I wanted to wait till it was warmer here.
Right. Because it was cold in your studio and you felt like the wax was cooling too quick and wasn't getting any movement. Right. And that's a big deal. Like if you put your brush to the panel and it stops really abruptly, I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So anyway, just to let you know, I have been practicing now this warmer. The scraping has been much nicer.
Yeah.
The thing I did is I got an electrician in here and he set up an outlet so that I can
Tell me, are you using a heat gun or a torch?
No, it's not a torch. But now I can use 2 heating elements. He gave me enough power or whatever, so I can do 2 heating elements without cutting off the whole house.
Okay. So I really like a torch. If I could encourage you to try the torch.
Okay.
And one of the things that I like about the torch is that because of the intensity of the heat and the flame, is that it's really doing a lot of the heavy, hard hand labor work that comes from scraping for you. It's kind of like, I have, I'm horseback riding, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm working with a new trainer and she's very fascinating to me because her method is like it's like work less and do better, which is like kind of exactly what I need for my life. It's like, I want to make, maybe more, just take anything, more sellable work without trying so hard that I'm exhausted and stressed. And like, so it's like this really awesome idea of, get more, but like work less. Like,
makes a lot
fight for it. Like you don't have to fight for it. It should just come easy.
Yeah.
So the torch for me, when I use it on my wax surfaces, if I've glocked it or it hasn't flowed, the torch will kind of encourage it to really.
You can actually move the wax.
Well, no, you're not. It's not about. It's about just melt. It's about the intensity of the heat. It's not the air. the heat gun has that fan in it.
Yeah.
And I don't like the fan. So the torch has no fan. It just has more heat. So it's like you can move it slower and steady. And what's happening is it's because of the intensity of the heat, it's impacting the wax. It's going from up and down to just out, flattening out.
Yeah, yeah. I have a young woman she's 15 years old. She's very talented. And
you told me about her. Yeah.
She's very comfortable with a torch. So once in a while, I'll ask her to bring her torch over.
Oh, wait, doesn't she live on your street or something? You think you mentioned her? Yeah.
Yeah. So I could ask her if I could start learning with her torch. But the other thing is I do have a really strong hair dryer heat gun, and I stopped using it because I didn't have the power. It would just knock the
the heat gun draw. Yeah, so
but now I'm in business again. I can use it again. So
yeah.
But okay, let me try working with the torch. I was just thinking, I love the way it burns that bare wood. So I was thinking of it only, for that type of thing. I hadn't thought of it in terms of what it will do with the wax itself.
Well, there's a couple of things I'd really like to help you really get your waxing to where you're happy with it, because I feel like I do think that you have this sort of geometric like style, that's kind of neat, the way you divide the space in angles around the subject matter. So I think you need to embrace that a little bit, and maybe, rather than, critique it, just sort of refine it so that you're creating work that emulates who you are as an artist within this medium, even though you're learning the medium, but you're also really learning to embrace, your like natural tendency. Like you think of somebody like Basquiat, like he didn't want to paint a still life or a portrait. He wanted to be himself, and his paintings are crazy. Like he would never try to, paint like somebody else. So it's like, it's always that fine line of being who you are and also learning. So don't give that up. And I'm seeing a really nice thread through your work that I think you should be very proud of. And then, just maybe like I showed you in Photoshop, maybe just take what you have. Like this to me, now this is gone now, is what you're saying.
No, I haven't. That's the second version. I said, I am
okay.
This black and white reveal. But yeah, so
wait, do you see do you see what I'm just like, do you see the similarity between this one and this one?
And I never would have done that until you showed me, just one dark side, one light side, and then I
like it. I feel like it's a style that you're developing with these angles and dividing the canvas space in these angles of color and texture around these figures. I think it's an interesting concept. Have I showed you Athena's work?
Show it to me. Let me see if I.
She's my assistant, and your work and her work are just like really, I don't know why, all I'm thinking about is her right now when I'm looking at this piece.
Oh, okay.
But you could really, and she does,
no, I haven't seen this. Yeah.
So her color palette is very particular, but she does, like, she divides the space.
Oh yeah.
In these angles, and she crops the figure.
What's her last name?
She's Greek. Good luck with it.
Oh, one of those impossible. Okay, I see it though.
It's Tasiopulos.
Tassiopoulos.
Yeah, Tassiopoulos. But like,
oh, cool. Oh, interesting.
Right, but she uses, like, look at yours, and then like look at this, and it's like, so she uses incising. So she goes into the wax and draws these, like, all the white lines she drew.
Okay.
Right? And then it's like the photo, like, so like maybe you could take this shape and like radiate out, like tracer, radiate out.
Oh,
you could start to, you need to find your peeps, your influences. Like maybe you're influenced by Azteca work, like Native American work. Like, maybe you're definitely interested in triangles. you know.
I love circles, but for some reason I've been doing these triangles. But
Yeah,
I'm really
interesting.
most drawn to circles, even though I'm not doing them right now.
That's interesting. That's interesting that you said that. But like, you know, so you could start to think about,
wow. Okay.
yeah, her work is so fun, and she's it's so fun, and she uses paper collage, only found photos. She doesn't ever take. She used to be a photographer, but she takes photos, but she doesn't use her own photos. And she uses the wax, and she uses the wax in very simple ways. We did a workshop together. I don't think you took it, the patchwork one.
No, I didn't take
So so she doesn't even use she uses the wax, and then she kind of like evens it out, and then she does a lot of drawing in the wax. And then she literally just uses acrylic paint. She doesn't even use pigment sticks or pan pastels.
She uses acrylics in the
on the wax. So what happens with the acrylics on the wax is that they just go into, do you see how she drew all these circles?
Yeah. Okay.
It's like she did all that little mark making with like pottery tools, and then she just puts the acrylic on and then rubs it in and rubs it off.
Oh, I see. So it goes into the well.
It goes into the well, right? So here, like she just literally like put all those little dots into the wax, and basically she uses very neutral colors.
Right, it's very neutral.
Clear or light beige or gray, and they're fairly translucent layers, right? So you always have to pay attention to the opacity of your wax. Like, is it opaque or is it diluted? And then she just draws in it, and then she puts acrylic, and I think that they're beautiful. And she has these patterns in her head. I mean, she just whips them out, you know, like there's no tomorrow. Right, but that's like, but I see like this one has the potential for something
I see what you're saying.
Like that, where you could draw or make all over the white and then rub some black in, so that it's like, and then do the same for the black, where it's if you wanted to do something like that. I also like it just the way it is. In a way, I would just I'm not crazy about
I'm not
something
either.
Here I'm not crazy about it. Either needs something.
Well, it's blurred, and everything else is so sharp, and it's just motion blur. So it's
maybe that's cool, but maybe something else needs to be a little bit blurry too. I don't know. It's like this is a fun one though. I'm interested to see what you do with this one next. I don't have the answer for you. All right, let's talk about this one, and then our time is up. So I think what we should do the next time we meet is we should just focus on waxing.
I agree, because I feel like I don't have control really over the wax. Or painting, you know, I feel like the brushes, I can't get the precise thing out. Anyway, so yes.
Right. But remember, and be kind to yourself, and remember that the wax is like a beast, right? and that you're not relying on the beast to be kind, you know, kind back. It's going to fight you. So you have to figure out how to just kind of like get what you need from it, and then move on to something else. Use your torch or use your other painting techniques, right? Okay. So I don't ever rely on the wax solely to give me what I need.
Yeah,
I kind of like bait it and get it, and then I kind of manipulate that with other methods.
Okay.
So this one I think is good. I mean,
I just don't like, we worked on it so, and there was a picture that you had for the show, and I said, oh, that's what she's talking about. That's what.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I think I know which one you're talking about. The one I think it's this one. I think you said you loved it. I know it.
Yeah, because I said, oh, that's no, that's okay.
What the heck did I call it? No, I know which one you're talking about. What did I call it? Oh, dark flowers. Wait, hold on. Black flowers. I know what you're talking about. This one.
That's it.
Right. Yeah. So look at the similarities though. They're very similar, Pam, right? Except you could almost mirror, you could use this one as an example. So there's a couple things that you would have to add something dark, even darker down here. And it would have to be a form, not just an abstract. It has to be like you know, a leafy stencil or something.
Oh, okay.
These
Yeah.
flowers here are flat. One of them needs to be, these flowers are brighter. One of them just needs to be brighter.
Yeah.
And then in here, this just needs to, see this purple?
I lost it. Yeah, I
It
just
needs
lost
to just blend out.
Mm.
Like this shape is too strong. Okay, wait here. Do you want me to do it for you? I'll do it for you real quick in Photoshop.
Okay, the Dodge burn thing.
I'm gonna paint it. So watch. You'll. This is gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Okay.
And then we'll end for today. And then next time I see you, we're going to just wax.
We'll be working. It's gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry we didn't. I'm sorry we ran out of time, but I think we did.
No. This is a lot for me to work on until we meet again. So.
Yeah. I do think you. Where did it go?
You know what I did when I was out west? I got some of Georgia O'Keeffe's, pictures of her flowers and stuff.
Aww.
Do flowers. So there's some of them very simple. I'm working on it. It's hard. That part's really hard for me.
And there's so many things that are going into this process. I mean, so right now we're talking about opacity. So I took the purple and I took a very light opacity, about 20%. So in the studio, that would probably equal, a very little bit of pan pastel. But you see how the purple, I'm leaking the purple out here, and already I'm getting rid of these hard lines.
Yeah.
And already it's just like the piece is opening up. Right? Because we don't really have these. It's interesting you put these hard lines in your work, which I was literally just complimenting you on. But
it doesn't work for this kind of thing. Yeah.
It doesn't work for this kind of thing, right? If this is like a garden thing. No, but it does work if you want to develop like a style, like, more like Athena's, where it's more graphic art, that you're doing. Okay, so we put a little bit of the purple over. Do you see how that just completely transformed that? Yeah. Just by taking that little bit of spreading it out. So this white, there wasn't a hard white line there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what else I might do is I'm just going to take like a red, like a bright, this is like crazy, but like a bright color.
Fuchsia.
Well, I don't know. But like really, like really make these guys brighter.
Yeah.
Like something really bright. I'm having a hard time doing this. Just something really bright in here. See, like that's helping even. I don't like what I did over there.
Oh, the other one is kind of brick red, but this is much prettier. I like it.
Well, it's just adding a color that you don't already have in the piece too. It's like throwing one more color. It's kind of like throwing one more accessory on that's working for you. I also think like, let's investigate yellow for a second. So, I really did have to think hard about yellow now.
Right. So this is your mom's yellow. Okay, let's put that.
Yeah. So, but look how yellow just, like a little bit of yellow in here just really like brightens up the day,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Right. So it just makes it look like just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like more happy. I don't know. So a little bit of yellow in there, and you could put a little bit of yellow in these flowers. You can put a lot of yellow in the center here.
Like it softens the line.
Put a lot of yellow there. I mean, I don't know. All right, and then down here, what I was thinking is that if you did something, I'm just gonna have to draw this. I'm gonna increase my opacity, but something again that's like, kind of like I had that's dark, like really dark in here. This looks like a dog, but I'm trying to.
We'll say it's a leaf. I'm
trying to do like a flowery thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, and make something just even really darker in here. And then that gives it like, I don't know, it just gives it another.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. Yeah, cool, very cool. I'd forgotten about using the Photoshop. Yeah, that helps a lot.
I think that looks so good now. I mean, honestly, wait, hold on.
Well, Leah, this picture was that the dancer that I used in the black and white reveal.
Uh-huh.
That was it was that originally.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the black and white reveal and it didn't work. So then I just kept covering it with flowers, and that's why
I think this is a lot, and I do think it has a lot of similarities to that piece of mine. It's interesting.
Well,
Look at them now. Wait, hold on.
No, but I just love the way you do this. Oh my gosh, it's just so gorgeous.
Look, very similar, right? But do you see how it's like, because now like this space is going back and this is here in the front. It's as if you're walking along this path through a garden.
Right. And you had talked about foreground, background, receding, coming. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So wow, that was a lot. All right. So I'm going to send you, I'm sorry I did not, I was kind of a bonehead today. I mean, literally, it's weird how trauma like that's what happened this morning.
Oh, I totally get it.
It just kind of like put us.
I was taking notes, so don't worry.
I think I might have just lost it. But yeah, that was so. I mean, I would do those. I think it's pretty simple. Just get rid of this harsh line, add a little pop here, and add something dark. It's 3 little things, and I think.
You know, the other thing, and we are going to close, but the other thing is I just don't like the way the wax reacted, because I think I even ironed it a little bit, and I didn't like the waxing, but I will do these.
Right, but you have to remember that that's like that's the what I always call like the heavy mechanic, right? Working with the wax, getting the wax to do what you want. It's meeting your vision. That's like it's like a heavy motor skill. It's like it's complicated, right? And so then you gotta kind of, and you gotta use it cautiously and use it so that it works for you, and then you can move on and manipulate in other ways. But maybe other ways that you might enjoy manipulating are like incising, like drawing in the wax. I definitely think the torch will help you, or maybe I can show you some techniques of really using the heat gun, like steady, like slow and steady and close to the wax, so that you're causing more of that melting impact and it's smoothing out, so you don't have to scrape as much.
Okay, that sounds good. That's a lot.
Scraping's hard for me, and I'm a little bit younger than you, and it's like it's just very hard on your hand, and it's hard to control and get something.
Well, it helps. So now that the ambient temperature is up, it's much easier.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought I have to stop. I can't do this.